Music slides.
Now it is coming.
Okay. So, hello everyone, my name is Ghansham Katria, and my topic of presentation is Robert Burns as a pre-romantic poet. And this is my introduction. Points to ponder. I'm going to talk about briefly about Burns, and then he Burns as a pre-romantic poet, and his some works and his poetry. About Robert Burns. He was born in Scotland in the 1759, and he himself said about his life that the cheerless gloom of a hermit and the un- unceasing moil of a galley slave. He was born in a family that was laborers of a farm, and his father was a hardworking man, and they rented farms, and every time they get into debts, and so his when he was in a young age, he was working very hard, and he knew about the hardship of life, and uh, most of the time he worked in a farm and knew the land, and so we can say that he was uh, nurtured in the lap of the nature. And not just he was working hard in his young age, but there is a other side that his father was interested in literature, and so he also get into the touch of the literature, and the whole family was uh, uh, literate and knew about literature, and they in a dinner time, in a meal time, they uh, read books together. Burn as a pre-romantic poet. So often they say that the romantic period began with 1798, when Wordsworth published his lyrical ballad. But earlier, 12 years earlier, Robert Burns published his poems chiefly in the Scottish dialect. So he was earlier from Wordsworth, and was also the his thoughts were romanticism, and he chiefly followed the principles that the common people are at heart romantic and lovers of the ideal, and simple human emotions furnish the element of a true poetry. So he was in a true means he was a romanticism poet, and we can see here his poetic skill here in this line. It's epistle to L J. Uh, Here is this line that give me a spark of nature's fire, that's the learning I desire, then though I trudge through dub and mire at play or cart, my mouse though harmly in attire may touch the heart. This is the famous poem of his, Red Red Rose. It begins with, "Oh, my love's like a red red rose that's newly sprung in June." You can read this poem in online. It's available. This poem reflects his romanticism thoughts, and the it's with G Rose. Burn must have had grasp of what we know now call deep time, and he was. And the poem Red Red Rose was a very modern poem if we consider his skill. G. Rose Roy said that one of the greatest song in English speaking world, in my opinion, is "Oh My Love's Like a Red Red Rose." There is almost not a phrase there that some earlier song did not use, but Burns just took draws and made gold out of it. Robert Burns' other poetry, there is other poetries like "To a Mouse" and "To a Mountain's Daisy." These are also the we can consider that they also had the romanticism. The two poems, To a Mouse and To a Mountain Daisy, are as near as Burn ever comes to appreciate nature for its own sake. The other major poetry are like Winter and Ye Bank and Brace or Bonnie Doom regarded nature in the same way that Gray regarded it as a background for the play of human emotions. This is my work cited. Thank you. Now you can ask me questions.
Ghanshyam, my question is which elements used by Robert Burns most of the time in his poems?
The elements he used most of his learning from the early life that he used the landscape and other things that connected to the nature mostly
Uh, Ghanshyam, in the Red Rose poem, what are the red roses compared to answer?
in the poem Red Red Rose. It's a romantic poem, so mostly it was connected to the love, his lover, or we can say imagine the lover, and then wrote the poem Red Red Rose. So it's a romantic poem, so we can say that it was out of his romantic feelings. Thank you.